Hello everybody and welcome to Nature Diary number 11.
But we've come into the greenhouse, Mrs Waters, haven't we? Why have we done that first?
Well, Beaky, it's been a very strange week.
It was freezing, wasn't it?
It was. After that lovely sunshine last week, we've had hailstones and freezing winds, and some of the plants outside have shriveled up a little bit, so I've had to be very careful. I've looked in my gardening books and it says that I shouldn't plant out my beans and my cauliflowers and my cabbages until the middle of May, when there's no more chance of frost. And the reason we get all this different weather is because we live on an island, and the water around us floats up into the sky and creates the clouds, and we never know what's going to happen, so we just need to wait a little bit longer before we...
Is there anything to look at in here, Mrs Waters, that we haven't seen before?
There is, Beaky. There's something rather worrying at the top of the greenhouse. We'll have a look in a minute. Let's have a quick look at some of the plants first. Flo again wanting her ball.
I'll just sit down here.
Oh, she's gone running off. I'm sure she'll be back. Right, Beaky, what shall we look at? Let's show you these two cauliflowers. She's here already. Look at the difference in these. Okay, now this one here looks as if it's been a little bit damaged by the cold weather. Can you see how the leaves have shriveled at the ends? Whereas this one is growing really strong. Apparently cauliflowers are quite hard to grow. I tried last year and they weren't very good, but we're trying again. Okay, we're going to, what's that we say? Nail, no, we've got to fail, then sail, and then nail. So this is our second attempt in learning in how to grow cauliflowers. Right, let's have a look. We've not looked at this one recently. This one is a cucumber. Okay, only one of the seeds has sprouted, so I might have to try and plant a few more. Now, last year the cucumber grew fantastically, but it tasted awful. So I think it was something to do with us not giving it enough water, so we're going to try that one again as well. And look at the marrows. We didn't look at these last week. They're really growing, so looking forward to planting those and having some stuffed marrow in the oven. Okay. We've got lots more little tomatoes growing. There's some here. These we planted a little bit later. The first batch are getting really big. Look at these. Okay, in fact, you can see the roots are coming through the bottom now. Hard to imagine that was just a little seed, isn't it? Hey, what else do you want to see, Beaky?
I'm not sure. Are the flowers growing?
Let's have a look. Not really. Can't seem to see anything. We thought they were last week, but there's one tiny sprout in there. We didn't have much luck with the flowers last year either, although the pansies have grown and we've planted a lot of those out. Pansies, you're right there, Beaky. Pansies are hardy. That means they don't mind the cold wind, so it was okay to plant those out, but everything else we've kept inside. Let's look around the rest of the garden, see what else there is growing or not growing. Come on.
Mrs Waters, Mrs Waters, you said there was something quite worrying in the greenhouse. I'm a bit frightened. What is it? Where is it? Mrs Waters, come back!
I'm not sure if we'll be able to see this very easily, but let's take the camera up to the top of the greenhouse. The ridge is where the roof meets at the top, and something is growing there. Let's have a look. Can you see anything there, Beaky?
Well, it looks like a little grey ball.
It is.
Well, why is that scary? It's not scary to me.
Oh, but that is because it's the start of a wasp's nest. You might just be able to see it with the camera like this. I can hear the wasps buzzing around. They're coming in through the top of the greenhouse, and then they're going under the sphere to where the hole is to their nest and climbing inside. Now that nest will get bigger and bigger, so we can't really keep it in the greenhouse, so it's going to have to go. But we do want them to pollinate the plants. Just not in my greenhouse.
There's more beds than we had before, aren't there?
Yes, I've dug a few new ones. I think I've done 3 new ones. We've put some more carrots in and some more beetroot.
Why have the carrots got a net over?
That's to keep the carrot fly off. But we've discovered that one of the nets has got quite a few wasps inside. They must be finding a way in somewhere, so we'll need to check that one.
What are all these sticks for? What have you done that for, Mrs Waters?
Well, those are for the beans to grow up when we can finally plant them out. They'll be able to climb up those sticks. That will help them to keep strong.
Oh dear, Mrs Waters, that potato plant doesn't look very healthy, does it?
No, Beaky, I think that the cold winds have damaged that plant, but hopefully it will grow back again. If we look at another one in the same patch where it's a bit more sheltered, you can see that it hasn't been quite so badly affected by the weather. Let's just move the camera so you can see one that still looks quite healthy. So the potatoes are planted in rows. And look at this one here. This one looks fine, and that's because it's behind a brick wall that's protected it from the wind. Flo, what are you doing? Oh no! Look what she's doing, Beaky.
She's eating the labels from the beds. We won't know what's growing, will we?
Let's get it off her.
Well, oh, there's Tabs. Well, the tulips seem to have survived the cold weather.
I'm surprised about that they didn't get blown down. When you see how many pine cones have fallen off the trees, you can see how windy it was.
The sweet peas are growing, but they're looking a little bit battered, aren't they?
They're in a spot where it's windy, but also it gets the sun, so I'm hoping they'll be okay.
And look, Mrs Waters, there's some new flowers.
Let's have a look.
Up here.
They're pretty, aren't they? Those are a kind of daisy, and they open in the daytime and close at night.
The clematis has got lots of buds on it, hasn't it?
Yes, I wonder how long it will take for them to open though. Magnolia's looking a little bit sorry for itself. I think the cold winds have made those leaves curl and go brown. Oh, here comes Buffy. But down here we've got some more rose bushes, and they look nice and healthy. We've spread some manure on that soil to help to feed them, and that will also help to protect them from disease. It makes them stronger. And down there are some of the little pansies that I've planted.
Oh, look, there's Poppy come to see us.
She is. She's coming over.
She likes to say hello, doesn't she?
She does. But look up here, Beaky. Let's turn the camera. And look at all that apple blossom. I think we're going to have a very good year for apples. There's a bee up there doing its job, spreading the pollen from one flower to another so that apples will grow. Right, Beaky, I think it's time to stop. Time to go in.
Okay. There's still lots to see, isn't there? Out in the country, if you keep your eyes open, you can see lots of things changing. There's some lovely yellow fields at the moment.
Yes, they're called oilseed rape, and they make a cooking oil.
See you all next time. Bye!